You are the worshipper of illusion. The illusion that you are, the illusion that you're great, the illusion that you're special, the illusion that you're powerful, the illusion, the illusion, the illusion. You are a servant of the illusion, and woman is the mistress of illusion. So no matter when, every time you subscribe to an illusion, if you follow it to its thread, you will find her. She is the birther of illusion. So you are in love with the illusion. The illusion gives you the impression that you're unique. The illusion gives you the impression that you are as a god. The illusion gives you the impression that you can be like Achilles, remembered for eternity. Right? It's great, it's cool. It makes a good movie. If it's played by Brad Pitt. This is the illusion. Now some people want that. They want the intoxication of the ego. They want it. What can I say? To each their own. It's available if that's what you want, and if it's in your cards to have access to it, because a lot of people wish would have glory, but how many will? How many LeBron James is there? One. Right? So like I said, I have no opinion. This is not good. This is not bad. It's what it is. I'm a doctor. I diagnose. This is my diagnostic. If it makes sense to you, good. If it's not my problem. And then I had to make decisions for myself. What is it that I want? Well, I'll tell you what I want. Peace. I don't want to be happy. I don't give a fuck about happy. I don't want glory, name, fame. I want peace. So one has to ask, well, what is peace? I'll tell you what peace is. Peace comes from one thing and one thing only. Surrender. At least a Muslim understood this. Islam means to surrender. The one who has surrendered is a Muslim. Yeah, but how do I surrender? What does surrendering mean? The true definition of surrender means you let go. Yeah, but how do you let go? If to understand how to let go, you have to understand what is it to hold on to. Right? If we want to talk about the science of letting go first, well, if I have to let go, that means I'm holding on to something. So what the fuck am I holding on to, and why am I holding on to it? So I'm telling you, what you're holding on to is your ID, your identification, and you're holding on to it because your survival depends on it. So you mean to say that if there was something greater that it would ensure my safe passage through this ocean of life, then I wouldn't need this and I could just let go because it would guarantee me passage? Yes. Great. So now I can surrender because it's going to get me through without the headache. Perfectly. Now, could I really let go if it's in my imagination? Of course not. Maybe to a certain degree, but not really. Because it's not real. It's in your fantasies. So in order to surrender, there has to be an actual power, a real one, like a river. When you're in the river, you don't have to imagine it. You have to visualize the fucking river. It's a power, it's real. So when you can have a connection to that power, then you can slowly surrender because you're like, oh, this is a very powerful power and this power knows better than me. And then when I let go, first I relax. Second of all, when I relax, I feel good. Energy flows. I feel whatever you call happiness or bliss. Then my problems are resolved, one after the other, without me having to take charge and figure it all out because I'm amazing. I'm the most intelligent man that has ever existed. No matter how intelligent you are, you're dumb compared to the intelligence of life. So why the hell would you want to rely on your own intelligence, which is between me and you nothing and pathetic, instead of relying on the intelligence of the one supreme most high? Well, that's the difference between an intelligent person and a non-intelligent person. There's no debate. So if you want peace, where are you going to find peace? You're never going to be intelligent enough to find peace. That's why humanity is building a supreme computer that is going to be able to assess and process infinite data so that we can have a God here on earth amongst us to solve our problems because we're unable to calculate all the infinite variables, no matter how intelligent our brains are. It's not big. So you see, society is the reflection of humanity. What is humanity trying to do? Trying to build a God, which is a machine, which is able to assess everything as to find the perfect solution so that we don't have to suffer due to our incompetence, because no matter how intelligent we are, we're not able to process infinite data. Well, we can create a machine that can pretty much do that. So once we have that, then what can we do? Chill out, man, relax, let go, and enjoy life. Do you see? The Luciferian power is God, fake. It's doing the same thing via the process of disease. That's why what I'm saying makes sense. If you see where it is going, you'll be like, well, why is it doing that? I'm explaining to you why it's doing that. Now, does that lead to a place of peace? Absolutely not, because you're a slave. God doesn't ask slavery, God asks servant. You're servant, a servitude. Servitude comes by the recognition, the consciousness, and the humility that it's something that is greater than you. If something is greater than you, then you want to serve it, because by serving it, you get to be with it. In the Luciferian system, you are a slave. You're under the illusion that you are great, and there is none greater than you except your enemy that you're going to attempt to kill. And that's why you're a slave. You're not even able to recognize the power that is controlling you and governing your life, because you're so full of yourself, you're not even able to understand what humanity is unconsciously, and for the most part unconsciously creating, which is your God. So it's either you're a slave or you're a servant. And God doesn't accept fake servants. And the truth is, if you're not a servant, you're a slave. It's not like, what do I want to be? I want to be a slave? No. It's like, if you're not a servant, you are by default a slave. If you do not recognize the truth, because there's only one truth, and if you don't recognize it, that means you're in an illusion. And if you're in an illusion, guess who's in? It's instantly. If you're in the illusion, that means the illusion and the mistress of illusion must be there to create a bubble for you in order for you to protect yourself and stay afloat. It's inseparable. They come together. So these are big words, and then many people have a certain sense of this. It's like, no, you cannot surrender with your imagination. You need to have an actual living experience, and you need to grow that relationship so that it's tangible, it's real, it's genuine. So that slowly and slowly you let go. And slowly you discover the genius of that power, and then you study from it. Okay, that's how we do this shit. You're like, why the hell am I going to ever try to figure anything out when that power knows a million times better than me and has a sense of what to do now, and how that ties to tomorrow and a month from now and 6 months from now and 10 years, 20 years and 10 million years from now, because it's the intelligence. How the hell am I supposed to figure that out on my own? So I'm good, I'm dumb, I'm happy. I'm not trying to be intelligent. I like to talk, I like to speak, but I've resigned that. I feel very comfortable with this. There's smart people, I'm not one of them. There's a power that's intelligent, that's my God, that's my power, that's my dude, that's my thing. And I'm going to hang out with you, man, you tell me what to do. But you will not understand what I'm saying necessarily. Because listen, if I was like the top 1%, the top 1% of 1% of intelligence, which is not my case, then maybe I'd be confused and I'd actually think I'm intelligent. It's not my case. Maybe I said this before. In Marcus Aurelius' book, Meditation, he wrote this shit. I love that because I felt the same about myself. He said, at some point he thanked the God, because he's a fucking pagan, of course. He said, thank the gods that they never, this is my paraphrasing. He says, I'd like to thank the gods for making me not the best at anything. Because if I was the best at everything or anything, I'd get lost in that. If you're the best fighter in the world, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to get sucked into that. So when you're good enough but never the best at anything, it humbles you. And it kind of makes you, that's what happened to me. It humbled me, and it's like, well, it makes you reflect. I'm good, but I'll never be that. I'm handsome, but I'll never be that. So it gives you a space to reflect and really observe things from a more mature place, and helps you, if you're blessed, to gain a clear perspective of reality versus somebody who's imagine you're the most handsome man in the universe. It's over for you, bro. Anywhere you go, even when you take a shit, the toilet bowl is like having an orgasm. So you can't even take a shit peacefully. No, well, that's a tough karma. That's hard. You're going to have to navigate this. It's going to be very demanding from you. That's what I'm trying to say. The appeal is very, very intense. Imagine you're Brad Pitt. Like, think about it for 2 seconds. You can feel it in him. Like, he's a sensitive dude. He's like, imagine you're him for 2 seconds, or the younger version of him, right? It's like everybody just wants to eat you. You always got to run. And things are just like opened, and the pathway to glory is just easy. You can't even resist. You're on it whether you want or not. Well, to get perspective is going to be much more difficult in his perspective, from his point of view, unless you're Jim Carrey, of course. The wise Jim Carrey. Kiss أمك. خلاص. Thank you.